following Willie more and more. Back in the NRL, there's Willie Mason.
I've forgotten how big Willie actually is.
Perhaps the presence of Willie had the Panthers looking at his imposing frame.
I'm a 25-minute man. Oh, you got skill, son.
Uppercut right hand by Big Willie.
Too fancy for you.
Welcome to episode number 15. That was 15. A new start again.
New 15, jeez.
Number 15. It's been a big week for you, William.
It has been solid.
The mighty Dogs, look at them. Hey?
What a great win.
Good win.
It was a good win. Started off with a shout out to Rennie Matua's his 40th birthday. That was
sizable.
Yeah, it was sizable. That was a Saturday and Sunday go. And then I had to roll up to the Bulldogs game on Monday. Thank God they won. They played outstanding. I was so happy. I was sitting with John Curry, Aaron Warburton, you know, a lot of board members, CEOs, and all that kind of stuff, mate. Just the thrill of us winning, let alone beating Parramatta.
Just winning a game.
You know what I mean? Winning a game was awesome, but just the amount of joy on all the supporters' faces, all the board members, and that, it was just like a big relief because, mate, I think we've won like 13 or 14 games in 3 years. You know what I mean? And to beat Parramatta in that fashion, wasn't that we just won, we pumped them. And that was good. Just seeing everyone, you know, in the sheds after the game and like everyone was pumped and, you know, it was good to see. Like, and these players deserve that. You know, like they put so much hard work in, the coaching staff put so much hard work in. It's good to see it all come together finally. You know, it was good.
Great when a plan works, Will.
It does, mate. It does. Like they put together a plan, they go out there and they executed it. And it was against Parramatta, so I do not feel sorry.
The Battle of the West.
Do not feel sorry for Parramatta.
Speaking of the West, I was out in the far west over the weekend, out at Dubbo for the state championships. I've actually got the Randwick
That looks all right.
kit on. Yeah, it's good kit. It's good now that I'm involved because, you know, when you play footy, when you're a kid and all you want is kit.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm a extremely old human being, old fat man.
Free.
I'm getting kit.
Yeah, it looks
just
good.
getting involvement. You know what happened though?
The Bulldogs kit I've got is ridiculous at the moment.
Well, I walked into so we had a team dinner on the Friday night before it kicked off. And I've been coaching these kids on and off for 3 years in this rep program, since they were under 10s, a lot of them. And I walk into the pub, because I took them to the pub, that's right, parenting, thank you. Please don't call Doc. So we're sitting there having a team dinner and I walk in and normally they just ignore me and I went up to the table, how are you boys? And they've all just turned around and gone, Willie Mason. And I go, oh, they've seen the podcast. And they haven't. And then
I was there with you.
Straight away, they were all just wanted to know about, like, I went from just an annoying coach that, like, they used to occasionally go, I used to play, I played a bit of footy. Now it's like, tell me about Willie Mason.
Oh, no.
So big shout out to the Randwick under 13s. I love you boys a lot.
How'd you go?
They did really well, actually. They're outweighed by some of the big sides.
Who was the biggest side?
Parramatta are the biggest side, or the two Blues. So they lost to Parramatta, they beat Penrith, they lost to Gordon. They beat Uni, which they're all pretty happy about because I know I used to play for them. And then we lost in the playoff game to Eastwood.
How many games are these kids playing?
They played
Over
2 games
weekend.
Saturday, 2 games Sunday, and then one final on the Monday.
It's a lot of footy. It's a lot.
Actually, Finn Burns got the biggest black eye. He got it in the second game. It's a proper one too, and I've never seen him prouder. And he played every game. He kept going.
I love that. Being 13 years old is awesome.
Should have seen him going off to school yesterday. He was like...
So, how many 13-year-olds just have so proud of a black eye
so
or stitches or something like that? I remember being 13. It's like, oh yeah, where'd you get that from? Yeah, footy.
And you know what he goes to me?
Head clash.
He goes, it's the best, Dad. He goes, doesn't even hurt and looks bad.
God bless you, Finn.
All right. Well, congratulations to everyone who competed across all the state championships. It was really well run, and you know, rugby's been in a bit of a hole. And
how is it like? How is the rugby like the junior levels now?
Do you know what? It's great. Like the way it was organised. So the 13s play in Dubbo, the 14s play in Orange. So they get that sort of go away, and they've combined the city comps and the country comps.
Yeah.
So essentially, sides like Eastern Suburbs that aren't strong enough, they can't go into the comps. They replace them with Central West or Central North. Yeah. So it's a genuine state championships now, and it was great.
That's good.
Yeah, it was really well done. So congratulations to everyone involved in that. What we should talk about first, I think, because of the fact that they've got this sort of rep weekend now, right? So they play the Origin on a Sunday night instead of the Wednesday night. And then, which is great, they've started to play the internationals again. So they've got games for Tonga and New Zealand and Samoa and Cook Island. Like, it's back to being international football in this week. The problem that they've got now is that players that are told that they can play for New South Wales or Queensland and then still represent their country are still getting put in a position where they have to choose because of the scheduling. Tonga are playing on the Saturday. New South Wales play Queensland on the Sunday. Daniel Tupou and Katoni Staggs have been picked in the Tongan side.
Yep.
And so they're now in a situation where they're going to have to choose who they play for. And that is an extremely difficult choice to put a kid in, especially Staggs. Like, Tupou's been there, done that to some extent, but because Tony Staggs just played his first Origin, how do you make that choice?
I don't like it. I don't like the scheduling at all. They should understand that Polynesians are dominating the game and they're all through. Imagine if Samoa was playing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What's Junior Paulo going to do? What's Crichton going to do? What's Luai going to do? What's Toto going to do? Do you know what I mean? Like, we are stacked through every single rep side at the moment. And to put these kids in that predicament is just poor from the NRL or whoever's running it. Is it the World Rugby League or something
It'd be
like
International
that?
Rugby League,
International
I think.
Rugby League.
Yeah.
They're idiots. Like, that is so stupid. You know, a kid like Katoni Staggs been busting his ass last couple of years, gets the opportunity to play Origin right now. I mean, Toops is in another level because he's played like his 10th year. I think he's played over 10 Origins. He's won 3 comps. He's played for Australia. He's done everything in the game, Toops. He's very, he's achieved everything. Staggs, he's only starting his NRL career. You know, he wants to play Origin. It's the pinnacle of the game. It's the toughest arena, in rugby league. Of course he wants to play for Tonga. You know, what happens if Katoni Staggs picks New South Wales over Tonga?
Anyone who bags him, and that's the whole thing. I can imagine, and
of course there's going to be some idiots out there. They're going to bag
whatever
choice they make. Well, he shouldn't be able to play anyway. Yeah, no, he is an Aussie first of all,
for sure,
with background
Tongan heritage.
I
remember looking at that whole thing with Taumalolo and Fafita, and when they first made that decision to play for Tonga, and how much it meant to the families. It's not just about the players and the decisions they make, but that flow-on effect where, and they watch their kids and they're proud, as any parent is, they're proud of their child and what they're achieving, and they would be super proud watching their kid playing Origin, but it's different if you grow up on an island and then you move your family from that island to a country for a better life, and then your son wants to, or daughter in the same situation wants to represent that country. There's nothing greater in a family.
Very well said, Ian. Very well said, and that's what happens. That's the culture of the islands. It's like you want to play for the islands first. It means a lot. It's a different feeling because you're representing more than yourself. You're representing the islands back home. Your little island, like I don't know where their family's from, but you're talking like thousands of people might be living in that little island that your mum's from. You know what I mean? There's hundreds of little islands around Tonga. You know what I mean? Like, it's just everyone's from certain little parts and everybody knows each other, and it's such a proud moment when you do get to represent represent Tonga. I got to do it when I was younger, but it was nowhere near as big as what it is now.
No, that's right.
Taumalolo and Fafita, what they did in 2017 changed the game.
Yep, they changed the
International Rugby League, and they go over there now. It's Mate Mao Tonga. It's not the union anymore. It's rugby league. Everyone wants to play rugby league for Tonga now. All these young kids, they've influenced all these young kids, and they need to keep going with it. They love Katoni Staggs. I would love Tupou. All these guys that get to play in these representative sides now, they follow them. They'd be pumped of watching us play against New Zealand, but they want the best Tongan side as well.
Of course, and International Rugby League needs that.
You can't put these young kids in this predicament. It's terrible from the governing body. Whoever's the governing body, mate, needs to be sacked.
And we're not saying that it's a bad thing that they're playing. It's a great thing that they're playing, but there's got to be a way, and it has to be understood that there are going to be clashes between heritage and state. That's just the way it's going to be because, as you say, Polynesians dominate the game. There's got to be a smarter way so that these kids don't have to make that choice. I don't know what the answer is.
Should not be put in this predicament. They just shouldn't be. They should be looking at the scheduling, looking at the players, going, okay, well, here's a chance he could play for New Zealand. I mean, he could play for Tonga. He could play for Samoa. Let's put this another week after Origin.
Yeah, or do it at the end of the year.
In the next, just say like when there's 3 weeks between games, like put it maybe on that weekend,
Yeah.
Like they could do that. Players will do that. Don't put it, what is it, 4 days after or 4 days before?
Or just make it a standalone.
Like,
and they won't do it because of broadcasting, but make it a standalone weekend where one week you've got Origin.
So when is this game?
So it's the Saturday before Origin. So the Origin's on the Sunday night.
Oh my
which
goodness.
just brings its own problems, you know. Like the fact that Origin's on a Sunday
scheduling
night.
And everything, just like that's in Perth, that game.
It's all broadcast. The whole thing's just broadcast deals.
Bunch of pricks.
Anyway, let's hope that whatever those two blokes decide, that everybody's kind to the fact that that's a choice that no one should have to make. It's like when those blokes have to pick between watching the birth of their first child and playing an Origin game or playing a test, and people blow up. It's like that's such a personal decision.
It's the worst thing. Like, just
horrible decision.
These kids should not have to be put in this position.
Yeah, International Rugby League.
If they actually think about it.
Do you know what? We've got a bloke that loves the show. He writes in a lot. He's very passionate about International Rugby League. Brad
Boucher.
Yeah,
he's good.
So
Boucher.
He's Boucher. You say
Boucher,
tomato.
Boucher.
Bobby Boucher. But I'd like to hear from him, actually. If you're listening to the show, mate, write into us and tell us what the solution is, because you're probably smarter than both of us.
He's actually really smart. I follow him.
West Tigers, William. Mm-hmm. This is an interesting one too, because last year you got a situation with Pangai Jr. and he went to the Panthers and he won a comp, from Brisbane because Brisbane didn't want him anymore, basically. But this time you've got a situation where Luciano Leilua is leaving the West Tigers because they are horse shit and the Cowboys are good, and he wants to get up there. And funnily enough, I looked at when they signed him, and then they had Nanai and Lukey and, Ruben Cotter and all these back rowers come through. I was like, why would they sign him? But now with Lukey out for the season, it's actually... I
feel sorry for that kid.
Yeah, it's a good signing for the Cowboys. I can understand why they want to get rid of him.
Yeah, let's put the shoe on the other foot. Just say Luciano's playing pretty bad, and, someone else wants his services, They'll get rid of you. If you're not playing that good, the club will get rid of you.
For sure.
Yeah, but hey, let's just put it on the other side. And the player's in a power position right now. Because of the RLPA has fought for that, now he can do what he wants. So unlucky, West Tigers, and good luck to the Cowboys. Because you can make your own decisions now because of the way that the whole RLPA and all that stuff is set out. So that's just the way it is. He's just taking advantage of the rules.
And good on the Tigers, actually, because I've just checked
Tigers could have been pricks.
They could have been.
I
think what happened, I might be wrong with this, but I think he's been trying to do this for a while.
Yeah, he wanted out pretty quick.
And they've sort of said, nah, because they didn't. But now that the season's gone, let's be honest, the West Tigers aren't going to make the 8. Mm-hmm. So I think the Tigers have probably gone, well, who cares? Well, let's bring a young kid through. They've still got in the back
have a person there who doesn't want to be there.
Yeah.
Like Lucci just wants to go up there. He's got an opportunity to play on the off the bench or left side back row, right side back row. And mate, they're going to have a fair crack at it this year, the Cowboys.
Yeah, they
He can
are.
add another whole dimension in that team. So he's been unfortunate in the teams that he's played, Lucci, because he's been playing in really shit sides, St George and then Tigers. So
and he was super good last year.
And he's a great player. His talent is massive. So people just need to understand this is a business. And he's taking advantage of the rules. There's a bit of a loophole there. But just have a look at it from the other side, people. Like, because the club could be pricks as well and get rid of you when you're not playing that well. This is just on the other side because he's playing well enough to play first grade. He gets an opportunity from somewhere else. And this happens a million times, guys. People are getting letting go before June 30. Players that have been clubmen for 10 years, players that have played 10 games, 20, 30. This is happening right now. It's only news because he's a decent player and he's leaving the Tigers and everyone just wants to hammer the Tigers all the time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But this is happening all the way through the NRL, people. So don't get all personal about it. This is just the way it is. And it's only going to get worse because this is money-driven competition. And this is how it is. It's not the 80s and 90s and 2000s where the loyalty was there between you and that club. It's done. It's all about the paper.
If I'm Luke Garner, I'm going, can I go to the Panthers, please? I sign there next year. Can I go to have I'll go sit on the bench for them.
Just win a comp.
Bye-bye, whoever's on the bench. Here comes the dog. The dog's decided to get off the couch. He's just been to the groomers, and let me tell you, when he goes to the groomers, I'm about $1 million poorer.
Yeah, it's not cheap, is it?
I don't like walking around the street with him looking like that because I got a reputation. And that dog is not a tough man's dog.
The first time you cut him?
They shaved him. I did.
You disowned him
about 6 years ago.
You're so shallow.
So
about 6 years ago, like because he was so fluffy, and then I didn't even recognise Woogie.
He looked horrible.
And it looked like a little rat.
Yeah.
And Ian goes, I can't walk this dog anymore.
I go to Anna, you walk him.
He didn't walk him until his fur grew back there.
You
He's
walk
a bad man right there.
Oh, lucky you're still so good looking. If you'd have got busted up in footy, I would have brushed you 15 years ago.
Oh, man.
You could dye him pink. Yeah, it would have been better when he got shaved. He was
show
horrific.
ends right now. Get Woogie to sit here.
He'd do a better job than you. The other thing as well, I was talking about this with someone the other day, and I mentioned to you before that spear tackle from Naden from the Tigers wasn't a good one.
He had a good couple of minutes, didn't he?
Impressive.
Naden,
stuff.
did he drop a couple of balls?
Yeah,
and then
he got sent off for dropping Jack Trbojevic. And then they asked Trbojevic after the game, and he was like, "Oh no, mate, it was sweet. It was fine. I love getting dropped on my head." You know what? Sometimes accidents happen. There was no malice in it.
He's just the best. Is that not the best bloke to ever play rugby league?
Pick him for Origin, please.
Just on that.
Just that
Get
alone.
him straight back into Origin.
Yeah.
I get it. Like, I don't think it looked horrible. Naden didn't want to drop it. It was just one of those things. It just looked really bad. The timing, it was just that little bit of an angle and just landed straight on his neck. It was not a good look.
No.
And it deserved a send-off. Naden's going to have to wear probably about 4 weeks maybe.
Yeah,
I think something like that. Yeah, I think 4 weeks. And that's sufficient.
You know, it's funny, Will. I go up, like we're away with, that state titles or whatever, and I say to my young, because we've got a kid he's really good defensively, but he just has a real desire to tip. He just wants to. And I say, mate, two things happen when you tip someone. You either hurt them badly and you feel bad for the rest of your life, or you get sent off or sin binned and you put your team in a bad.
It's good advice.
Just don't pick people up. It's just
especially
pretty simple.
When they go over the horizontal and that, you've got to have some sort of awareness. Like, I let go.
Yeah.
Like I'm a big guy, so if I grab your leg, you're going to be.
You got to get them right up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so
it's
like,
a long way.
Unless I have full control of both your legs, there's no way I'm grabbing one of your legs and flipping you.
Yeah.
Because I just knew my height and power. Like, you're going to land on your head
for sure.
So you just got to understand. Like, and Naden is 6'4".
He's big.
He's not a small guy. So like, and Jakey's like a little nugget. So if you flip him a little bit, he's going to land like that.
He's going to flip.
And you got to understand when you're in that moment of getting spear tackled, you're twisting around. Remember, like Cam Murray was twisting around. And you end up landing on your shoulder because you panic.
Yeah.
You're going on your head. You're trying to twist around, so your head goes down first.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you're not going to sit there and go, "Oh, I'm just going to land real safe."
You're trying to land shoulder side.
But he's fight or flight.
Yeah.
That's what sort of mindset you're in. You're like, "Fuck, get me out of this sort of position straight away." And that other guy's in control of you. So that it's just not saying there was any malice in any of these spear tackles or anything. It's just the timing of it, and just if you get in that position, you lift that leg up. Just fucking let go.
Yeah. 100%.
Let go, mate. Lose that tackle. Don't worry about the effective tackle fucking analytics. Just let go. Let go of the tackle, bro. Let go of his leg, and then you're okay. You can get away with it.
You'd end up in Des Hasler's book, though.
Yeah, but Des will sack you. Des will drop you to the next week because you weren't at 98% effective tackle.
Your money ball didn't work. So let's talk about. I mean, it's not really the West Tigers. What I want to know is, being an assistant coach, the raps that Cameron Ciraldo has got, it's like you'd think every team in the comp wants to sign him, like as if he's.
I think they do.
Well, they do kind of, I guess, because otherwise you get in that merry-go-round of the same coaches going to different clubs, and ultimately that, I think, once you've had a couple of goes at coaching first grade, if you haven't had success, then you probably need to go and mow lawns or something.
Has he played first grade? Has he coached first grade?
He's never coached. He coached the Panthers for a little while when they sacked Griffin, and he did a really good job.
Yeah.
But I mean, interim coaches, I think, if you do well, then everyone goes, you're a genius, but it's hard to do poorly as an interim coach because if your coach got sacked,
it doesn't matter.
Your team's not exactly flying. So
there's big raps on Ciraldo.
Yeah,
in the coaching realm. You know,
how many assistant coaches have you seen? Because you've been around the game for a long time, have made that step up? Because obviously everyone starts somewhere.
Craig Bellamy was Wayne Bennett's assistant.
Yep,
and he was assistant on about three kangaroo tours. And you could just tell Belly was just a level above. But Wayne Bennett always says things like, he goes, the easiest position in the game is assistant coach. You don't cop any criticism. You sit back, you lay in the cut, you can just individually coach people. It's just the most cruisiest job in the world. You don't have to do much. You know what I mean? Like, so he goes, I'm the one who has to face everything. You know, you're the big dog. You know what I mean? Like, you have to go to the press conferences. You have to manage every single person individually. Where assistants, they do a lot of video. They cut a lot of video. They do a lot of things. But I've seen some really shit assistant coaches.
Yeah, of course.
But apparently Cameron Ciraldo he's well above just that normal sort of assistant coach. And when's the right time for that kid to step out of that shadow that Ivan Cleary has? You know what I mean? Like, does he sit there for 2, 3 years, 4 years? Because Penrith are going to be a powerhouse for that long. Do you think Ivan Cleary's just going to step down?
No.
You know what I mean? So when's the right time? And it's all timing. Like, Craig Fitzgibbon did it for what? For years at the Roosters. And then he found the right club, the right fit, the right players, the right board, the trust, all that kind of stuff. And then he went for it.
I reckon that's,
you know what I mean?
Such a big thing. Will.
It is such a big thing. So if you look at Ciraldo, what options he got?
West Tigers.
Warriors. West Tigers, Bulldogs.
Yeah. Yeah, I just
have a think about it.
Because Trent Barrett's sort of in that situation where he could be the best coach in the world. He's taken over a Manly side that were going poorly, and he's taken over a Canterbury side that was rebuilding. And it's like he can't coach, but he's walked into two sides that, like, if I'm Cameron Ciraldo and everyone's got all these raps on me, I'm waiting until
that's what he's
the
doing.
Storm go, hey, Cameron, Belly just retired.
But that's, and that's what I think that's what he would want to do, because I think he's a really good coach. But, like, he's just waiting for the perfect moment. He's not going to sit there, even like Jason Rolls is sitting at underneath Robbo.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to do this for another 2 or 3 years. Before I need to go and fly the nest and be happy with controlling, because it's a big deal being the head coach.
Yeah, it is.
Because you're not just cutting the video anymore. You're not just doing these little individual forwards coaching and defensive drills and that. You're controlling the whole club, all the players. You got to understand with development. You got to understand with, like, nurturing players, who's doing this, delegating. You got to have a good team around you. You know what I mean? It's not just being a head coach. You've got to have good assistant coaches, good analytics, good developments, like development coaches around. You've got to have like
strength and conditioning.
S&Cs, like, like all your rehab, your physios. You've got to be in control of all that. That's why when Wayne Bennett comes into teams, he controls everything. Teams that he didn't have control over, he left.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So if he doesn't have the full control over the S&C, all these little things that he knows that's so important to a club and how to build a club, he'll walk away.
Yeah.
So it's very important, if Ciraldo and all these younger coaches, because we're all coming through. All the guys that played in the 2000s, we're all coming through, and we want to coach. Do you know what I mean? Like, so, but you have coach? No. I'm just saying, like, Rolsey and like Fitzy was probably one of those first guys up. I'm in the coaching sort of system now. Like, I'm not sure if I want to go full on into it, but I don't mind it. Like, I love what I'm doing.
Assistant coach.
You know what I mean? So, like,
do that.
And I'm sure I don't want to sit there and cut video for 60 hours.
I can almost guarantee you, William, that if you were an assistant coach, they would have an assistant to the assistant coach.
I will need an assistant.
That would be doing
I will need an assistant to do that.
The thought of you in some room cutting video.
I just think Ciraldo can either jump, he can do whatever he wants to. He's in a power position, but, like, he just needs to just take his time with stuff.
Henry. You can be his assistant.
You can be my assistant.
Yeah. The pay's $8 an hour, and you do everything. Let's talk about coaches. Mick Potter, is he? I mean, Canterbury have to. If he won every game for the rest of the year, he's their coach next year, isn't he?
Well, I think so. I think that's what they're. I mean, there's not many out there.
No.
I think, what are the options? We said last week, there's Flanagan, there's Madge.
Ciraldo.
Nathan Brown, Ciraldo.
Anthony Seibold.
Ricky Stewart. I've heard his name get tossed up. Brad Fittler, I've heard his name get tossed up.
Never going to do it.
Do you know what I mean? The Walker brothers.
Well, yeah, the Walker brothers.
So Gus will make the right decision. But if Potsy seems like he's getting the job done, they're sort of buying into what he's about.
He's got that Bulldog DNA.
He has got that Bulldog DNA, and he's got that father figure sort of aura about him. You know, I think he's probably mid-50s, I think, maybe. I'm not sure, but he has a good aura about him. He's really respectful, but he demands respect as well. So I can see that with the players. You know, when I just watch him coach and just sort of go, they're reacting to what he says.
It's a tough school rugby league. He looks about 80. He's
yeah,
probably 52.
And Potsy's only coached like 40 games. But he's had a lot of experience over in England. He coached, I think, Catalans. He coached St Helens. He coached... So all up, I think he's coached well over 100 games.
He was treated appallingly by the West Tigers too when they sacked him. That was, that was one of those sackings where you go, there's something going on in the background.
And he's probably just been waiting in the cut, just trying to get another opportunity.
Yeah.
And he'll be taking this like full on. He's not thinking, I want to be interim just for this year. He'll be thinking, I want the full-time job next year, all that kind of stuff. So
this year, are they going to have a Dally M Interim Coach of the Year?
They should.
Because they've got 6 of them going.
How many?
Adam O'Brien's about to get the bus. Kamali. Fun.
Who's bloody Stacey Jones?
Stacey Jones.
Stace.
So we got Stacey Jones. He hasn't won a game. Kamali got pumped first game. Mick Potter's in charge of the Dally M Interim
Potter will
Coach.
probably win Dally M Interim Coach of the Year.
That's the big award too. That's the one they do last.
Well, it's bigger than the Dally M Coach of the Year.
Red carpet, straight down.
Imagine you got that. So what award would it be? Like,
it'd just be half a medal. It's just one half of a medal.
Yes, we did it, boys.
We did it.
We did it.
We
come 8th.
None of the teams.
We come equal 8th.
No one's at the Dally M's because no one won anything.
Yeah,
just him. All right, Kafusi elbow. It's a bad one.
Yeah. Did he get suspended?
No, fine again. He gets away with everything. He's the biggest Teflon ever, that bloke.
He does get away with
everything.
People need to understand when you're running the ball and you got a little fella like Sam Walker in that.
Yeah,
you want to destroy these kids.
He must have jumped to get up that high.
Like, when I was playing, if you're a little halfback, you're copping elbows in your face.
Yeah,
I don't care what it is, where you are. If you come and try and tackle me, good luck.
Yeah,
and that's what back rowers do. Back rowers are supposed to terrorise halfbacks. When the elbow gets raised a little bit and it looks intentional, then I don't think that was quite intentional. Otherwise, I would have suspended him.
Yeah, that's right.
Fine.
Yeah,
it just didn't look that good because of the image of the game and how we want the game to look squeaky clean. You do anything that's out of the ordinary, everyone optically, visually goes, "Oh my God, it looks terrible."
Yeah,
a high shot looks terrible. A spear tackle looks awful. Shoulder to the head looks awful because you're not seeing it every week.
Yeah.
You know, in the 2000s, that shit was just happening. Just ask halfbacks that we used to terrorise. Sonny Bill would be on one edge, I'll be on the other. And then we'd swap.
In the 80s, they were bringing crowbars out to try
to take
heads off.
It's just like... And if you want to jump up at a 6'5" person, you're going to get a real big elbow in the mouth.
Right in the face.
So maybe change your tackle tech.
All right, there are some cracking games this weekend. I actually don't know any of them, so I hope there are some cracking games that I can say.
How many games you watch on the weekend?
I watched all of them, Will.
I watched the Monday one.
But that last round, it's a post-origin. It doesn't count. It's one of those rounds where you don't know if players are going to play. You don't know, So that doesn't. Do you know what?
They all backed up. Who didn't back up?
Isaiah Yeo, because he wasn't knocked out.
Well, Yeo deserved the break.
Yeah. The ones that were injured didn't back up.
But
pretty much everyone
else backed up.
Yeah, some of them started.
And that is the beauty of Origin. When you are in camp, you got to understand who pays you. It's your NRL team. You know what I mean? So you'd feel bad if you didn't back up. And other also, players would be looking at you sideways.
They're not on the drink like they used to be.
No, you're not hungover or anything.
They do earthing, walking around with bare feet, and that the biggest thing they get is frostbite.
And the best thing the best game to play is on that Friday because you don't get that sore.
Yeah,
Sunday
it takes a while.
Game, that Monday game, some of those parallels. Did Madison play on the weekend?
Oh, yeah, I think he did. Yeah, he did. I don't know. You watched the game. I didn't.
I didn't notice him.
Well, he'll be playing next week because big Jakey Trebojevic will be taking his spot. We've already decided that.
Yep.
So the Dragons and the Rabbitohs. The Rabbitohs are without Latrell Mitchell. What have they done? They sent him over to, can you explain this to me? I wasn't the best at rehab, but they've sent him to the States. Couldn't the bloke just Zoom from the States and go, you know what you need to do?
No, he needed that
stretch
hands-on. You know what America's like, man. They're on that next level stuff. You know what I mean? They are like not heads and shoulders above what we do, but like just their rehab and all the little things that they do. They stay on top of that shit. You know, like, I don't know why we don't do it here.
Well, if I'm pretty physio, go over and in the off season.
I'm pretty sure he has his physio with him.
Learn how to do
someone
it.
here. You know what I mean? Like send Turbo over there.
Yeah.
I think it's great. It's proactive from South Sydney.
I agree.
Because if this guy's the best at rehabbing hamstrings in the world,
go there.
Go there.
But don't you think it's embarrassing for Australian physios? It's like,
well, if I was an Australian physio and if I was the South physio, I'd be pretty embarrassed.
I'd be embarrassed.
I'm like, why can't I fix it?
Yeah.
And then they're like, well, we're going to send him over here because, you know, these guys are the best. And I hope to God that he comes back and absolutely kills it. Absolutely, because apparently he's lost about 6 or 8 kilos that he should shed anyway.
Yeah.
So he's looking fit. He just needs to get that maximum work in when he's working his hamstring. They got all these so many things. So how hard your hamstring's working and what sort of, you know, what level it gets to before it goes. So like he's going to get all this knowledge that they don't have here. I'm pretty sure they do. I'm not trying to knock Australian medical.
Well, I mean,
so if you're a physio, if you fucking come at me, I'm coming back at you.
Well, you know what?
I got physio friends too.
Okay. Well, do some research. Like, what's the world ranking of physios? Americans.
Pretty sure we're top 5.
Romanian.
The Germans.
Peruvian. The Germans would be good. Send him to Germany.
Send him to bloody the old mate from Brisbane.
Get Turbo to Munich.
Who's that guy from Brisbane? The back rower. What's his name?
Oh, you're such a good bloke. All right, so who wins that?
The back row. He's played Flegler.
Flegler. Yeah.
Flegler sounds like a physio. German physio.
He's another one that could be in the Dolph Lundgren Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he is.
With all the Cowboys players. Yeah.
And that other kid from the Cowboys.
Griffin Neem and Cohen Hess, and they all looked like they're all just. Yeah.
They could fit in somewhere, I'll tell you that much. I'm not going to say it.
Berlin.
They look good.
The Dragons.
They wouldn't look out of place.
Maybe that's their recruitment strategy, and they've had to bring Leilua up there to fix it. The Dragons and the Rabbitohs. I keep saying it. Who's going to win that?
Yeah, the Rabbits.
Okay.
I think.
We'll move on to the next game then. So the Cowboys, he's not playing this week though, is he, Leilua? No.
He could be.
I don't think he is. I don't think...
Well, why wouldn't he be? You got Lukey out.
Well, I mean, the Tigers would have. They only okayed it today or something. So
yeah, I suppose. Maybe 1 week off.
Maybe 1 week off. And then...
What about that poor Lukey kid?
Oh, he's going good too.
He's going to be a good player.
Yeah.
The ACL, that first run he made, he hits good holes. He
Jeez,
can play
runs
right edge, left edge. He hits hard. He's tackle. Oh, felt so sorry for the kid. You don't wish that upon anyone.
So many back rowers floating around, like quality back rowers.
He's quality, that kid.
Manly. How are Manly going, do you reckon? I mean, they beat the Tigers, but the Tigers are legless.
They're all right.
They're all right.
Their forwards just aren't as dominant.
Yeah.
You know, like Tapau's been really off. And the other guy I couldn't even name. The back rowers are like, you know, like you got Jakey just making 100 tackles a game. Ola Kawatu's a gun.
He's unreal.
He's their best back rower. You know, Schuster and all these guys, like they just need to play that hard-nosed football. Like Schuster just needs to knuckle down and stop. It's not about that fancy
Well,
shit.
he's another one, Ola Kawatu, that will get picked in that Tongan squad and would have to be a chance the way he's playing for New South Wales selection. I think he tweeted something about he goes for Queensland anyway.
Don't he?
Yes, so can't pick him. But he's damaging.
Do you know who come up with a really good idea? Willie Tonga. I was saying, because me, Sonny and Red and Tong were all in a group message, and Sonny was like, if NRL is the best of the best, why can't Polynesians or Kiwis play in the Origin? And I was like, you know what? Like, if you asked me this 20 years ago, I'd be like, not a chance. No, don't want it, because we didn't look at, you know, just say with New Zealand and who would slide into Origin. Maybe Ruben Wiki, I think. Maybe him. maybe Sonny Bill in the mid-2000s.
So as in a free-for-all for
yeah,
all
like
of the...
so whoever's
like
in the NRL,
Tonga.
you get to play. And then Tonga's maybe... So what they do in the NBA, Zig, so they'll have 2 captains, and just say if you pick you pick all-stars from the NRL, and it's just like 17 and 17. And so that's 34, right?
Correct. Well done.
Woo!
That's
Yes.
why you're cutting the video, Henry.
So 34, and then you have, just say the captain is Daly Cherry Evans, and the other captain is Nathan Cleary. Not because they're New South Wales and Queensland. And then you get to pick the best of the best.
Yeah.
If you get selected from in that top 34. And then you have a crack. Like it's some sort of all-star.
Like an all-stars
Like
game.
an all-star thing, like a proper all-stars, not all-star NRL all-stars versus Indigenous all-stars
No, like
or
a
Maori
proper
all-stars.
every single player.
And you get the best of the best. And you can play that, just say, I don't know, in February or something like that. Don't clash it with the origin, but I mean, like, imagine just knowing that you are a top 17 player in the NRL.
Yeah.
Even in England, I don't care. Select all around rugby league.
It's a good
You know
idea.
what I mean? Like, I think it's a really good idea because of the fact that our idea, like Sonny's idea and my idea, was like, I was all for it. You know, I'm like very impulsive. Yeah, fucking over, should be playing everyone. Blah, blah, blah. Then Tong's the really deep thinker and come up with that. And I was like, that's a way better idea.
Yeah, it is.
Heaps better.
Yeah.
And I just think maybe there's somewhere on the calendar where you can actually put that. And then you imagine just being, Taumalolo can play against some of the best players there. Like it's just like a proper all-star game.
Hardest thing would be picking the best 34 players.
Pick the top 34 and then the captains get to select.
Yeah.
And
Like
then-
a draft system.
That's like a
kind of,
draft system. Like say LeBron James and Giannis get to pick their players, you get 15 aside.
How bad would you feel if you, like at school, and you were the last pick for dodgeball? So if you're the 34th...
It's going to happen.
So someone's got to be 34.
It'll happen.
Imagine how good the player that's 34th is. You'd still be filthy.
But anyway, that's just an idea.
It's a good idea. It's Tong's idea, so let's not have you claim
it's my idea.
Let's not you claim it.
I planted the
thought of
seed.
it. Yeah. Well, no, you know what? You gave credit where credit was due. So that was good. The Storm and the Broncos. The Broncos without Adam Reynolds again.
Again?
And people are blown up going, oh, that's why South got rid of him. Shut up. They've won 7 straight. You're an idiot.
Is that what someone said?
Yeah, oh, that's what you get. No wonder South's off in 1 year deal. That's why the Broncos have won 7 straight and Souths are sitting 8th. So be quiet.
Shut up. Go drink your
the
4X.
The Poopenhausen's back.
Oh, is he good?
He's on the extended bench, but that
Well,
mullet
at least
will be...
that's a good sign that he's nearly back.
Will New South Wales, if he goes out and carves Broncos up, they pick him in Origin?
Not a chance.
I don't reckon either.
He doesn't warrant that.
No.
He's got to stick to. If he played where he was
3
from
games
1 to 12 or whatever, he should have played last year.
If he'd played last year and proved himself, but he's not a walk-up start if he's never been in that arena.
And we don't know what's going to happen. Like, personally, I think you should start Appy Coruscant and have Cook off the bench, just like they're doing with Hunt and Grant.
Yeah.
Like Hunt's more, he's not a traditional hooker, but like he's quicker he defends well, he's good kicking game. And then you got Grant, who's more of a runner. If you're up Appy Coruscant, you got a combination with, you got Cleary, you got Luai, you got Isaiah Yeo. It's a very great combination in the middle. And then you have Cook come on the last 20 minutes and just like at least give it a go.
Yeah.
And just blast the ruck, right? Like,
yeah.
Just like have that kid just go everywhere because he's quite hard to read, Cook. Especially in the early stages of the game, because he gets nullified. And if our middles aren't dominating, I've been saying, if we don't dominate, you take Cook out of the game. Where Appy, he engages markers. He comes out. He's got more skills coming out of 9. So I think they maybe should look at and a gun defender.
Yeah.
You're not going to, guys like Carrigan and all these blokes, if they run at him, you're not going to get quick.
And I think, as we said last week, the days of the 80-minute hooker in Origin are probably done. It's just too hard.
He's so fit, you know what I mean? Cam Smith just made it look too easy.
He makes everything look easy.
You know what I mean? Like Danny Badiris, you know what I mean? But the amount of running that the hookers get ran at, big bodies all day, and then you expect them to run. Like, you got to give the kid a break.
I've always been a big fan of traditional hookers.
Yeah.
The Sharks are playing the Titans.
Coffs Harbour. I was there yesterday.
The Titans are last now.
I know. We celebrated that.
So is Holbrook, he's got to be on the coach-o-meter? Because all I want now, I want Holbrook to get sacked and O'Brien to get sacked, and then I want the interim Dally M Coach of the Year award to start
That would
really
be probably better than the
meaning
Dally
something.
M one.
That's the best one. I reckon.
Yeah, Todd Payton. Nah, don't worry about it.
No, you're out. You got beaten by the interim coach. So I think the Titans. Well, we've talked about how bad the Titans are going.
They just got to stop. Tino is doing everything for him.
Oh, he was good on the weekend.
Do you know what I mean? What else can that kid do? You're playing him so many minutes. I'll worry about burnout with that kid. If he's doing that for another 5 or 6 years, playing Origin, playing Test football, playing 70 to 80 minutes a week, putting those efforts in.
Tamalolo, like.
Yeah, you've got to give him help. And you got Fotuaika and you've got Lasoni and you got a decent team.
Or give him the 10 million 10-year deal, so at least he's
give
something
him
out of
all
it.
the money you can. Like the fullbacks aren't there, not supporting him. The halves don't support him. He just goes one out all the time.
The Warriors.
And does a great job. I think he's one of the best forwards in the world at the moment. But you got to give the kid help.
What about the Warriors? I feel a bit bad about that. I'm. Gambling, everyone gamble responsibly, but Penrith are $1.05. They're basically saying that there is literally zero chance that the Warriors win that game. That's a nice feeling for the Warriors.
It's true, but...
It is true. All right, let's move on to the next game. Para against the Roosters. Parramatta. What's the matter, Parramatta? That was...
Did you think... did you watch that game?
No, I didn't watch one game over the weekend.
Yeah. I watched it, but... I don't know if the Eels were awful or we were just outstanding.
Well, we'll find out.
Did you watch it, Henry? What do you think? Bit of fucking sit on the fence. How about you sit on the fence?
Well, the Dogs actually
defended good, and we played some good football, didn't we? We short passes around the ruck. Everyone was pushing through holes, exactly how they've been training, and they actually implemented it, which was great. Eels, they had Campbell Gillard backing up, they had Paulo backing up, you had Madison backing up. That's about it. And they're middles, but so we really went through the... Yeah, they're hard, mate. They're the key. Moses and Brown are the key for them guys to win the comp or to be a shot. Moses can't do that against the dog side.
If you were playing in a game, William, and a bloke made a break, it happened actually at State Juniors, and a kid did the little early crow and then got tackled and dropped the ball. If you're playing in a professional game, not an under-13s, and you just walk over the line and get it stripped off you, what would you say as a forward to that particular player about that behaviour?
I wouldn't talk to him for a week.
I'd be so filthy.
I'd be so angry.
So angry.
You know what I mean? Just put it down.
Oh, just put it down.
Choki Uarte did that once.
Oh, really?
Yeah, mate.
Please put it down. Put it down. It's got to be the worst thing that can happen to you too.
Have you seen the one that Chris Walker did?
That was
ago?
Yeah. That was a
awful.
doozy.
That was great. That was one of the best ones. There's been some doozies. He's is up there. But this one right now, Mitch Moses, that was up there. Just put the ball down, kid.
They used a classic one of Steve Maven dropping the ball over the line for South, but at least he was trying.
No.
At least he was trying. The Raiders and the Knights. The Knights are...
Yeah, who'd they get beat by last week?
Everyone. I don't know. I didn't watch any games. I don't know they played.
Yeah.
Oh, that doesn't count if you get beat by the Panthers. Did they get hammered? They got hammered.
Yeah, they got hammered.
Yeah. No.
Absolutely hammered.
Raiders, I'll tell you what, the Raiders look good, so the Raiders will probably lose this game.
They're looking all right, aren't they?
Yeah. But they just have that ability when they start to look good to just throw up some horse shit.
But then they'll be looking like, Knights, they should be able to win that and go on a bit of a roll.
It was so cold in Dubbo. I don't know how people live in Canberra.
It's an awful place.
The bride's from there, but,
it's freezing.
They froze a brain. That's why she married me.
It's cold here.
It is cold
Canberra.
Here. Canberra. Oh,
mate.
No thanks. And then she still complains about the cold. I'm like, you grew up in the snow. What's wrong with you? Just complaining about everything. This marriage is on the rocks.
Look, you live in Bronny.
It's cold in this house because we had to turn the fire off. The Bulldogs and the Tigers. The Bulldogs win that. I don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah, I don't even bring it up.
Willie's Big Boys.
I'm looking at the sheet, Will. Good choices. Good choices for the big boys this week.
They were good, mate. They were good. Taumalolo. I know that's my first one. Pangai Jr. and Fisher Harris. Not in that order. They were just outstanding. Taumalolo has just put another, was it bow on his, whatever it is? What's that saying?
Hang on.
Ribbon on his bow?
Yeah, ribbon.
Yeah, he's put another ribbon on his bow.
Ribbon, because bows are good with ribbons. Well,
Yeah.
hang on. Who got the 3 point? Taumalo.
Taumalo, yeah.
Okay.
Just let it go. Let it roll. But the way that the Cowboys are playing is unbelievable. Their early shifts, he's getting the ball from the 9, wide ball, playing block plays out. And even worst case scenario, he bounces off his left foot, straightens up. If you over chase, he goes straight through your middle, or it's a quick play the ball. He can get you on both sides of the ruck. He's back. Like he's making over 200 metres and he's not even trying. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just the way that he's playing was outstanding. 2 points, Pangai Jr. I thought that was his best game of the year, and it was against one of the best packs in the comp, arguably. I think he made over 180 metres, but it was the quality metres. He ran so hard and into spaces. He took their big men on. He didn't take a backward step. Outstanding. And 1 point only because they played against the Knights, and the Knights are diabolical. So Fisher Harris got 1 point. He just constantly nearly makes 200 metres and 30-something tackles. And he is easily one of our best middles in the game. So our leaderboard, third on 6 points, Taumalolo, Josh Papali. Nah.
Look at this one. It's on. Henry updated it. That's because the sheet's blank.
Henry, geez, mate.
Here we go. Henry's done a good job here. Can you read that out?
Yeah. So 3 points. Campbell Gillard, Talakai's still on there. Junior Paulo, Payne Haas, all on 8. Taumalolo moving up, 9 points. James Fisher Harris, 10 points. That's the leaderboard.
All right, good.
All right, that's it.
You know, every now and then in life you get a free hit, Will. So last week when we put the bets on, the producer didn't put any bets on. And so I took a bet involving rugby and you just bagged it. You just slated it last week. And I just let you have it. And because I knew it'd win. And then, and I thought, if I say it's my bet, then if it loses, then I have to cop it. But if it loses and you think it's a producer, then I can bag the producer next week.
Yes.
But if it wins, I can claim it. And as it turns out, it claimed it. And also well spotted that he knows nothing about rugby union either. It was a rugby union bet. And you were like,
I am an idiot.
Hey, you're an idiot. And I was like, yeah, he's an idiot. We'll see. Anyway.
Great word.
So we are up to almost $1,000 now. We are at the mark of 920, which is good. We won 200 and something last week.
That's right.
So there's $1,000 basically to, if we don't win again, I'll chuck in the extra 80
We'll
or whatever
double
it is. We'll go in. We'll get 1,000 plus. But my bet this week, and I did this one rushed and I don't like it now that I've looked at it. I've gone the Rabbitohs to cover 6.5, Sharks to cover 13.5, and the Panthers head-to-head, which is paying $4.60.
All right. I got the Panthers 13 plus. I think James Fisher Harris, anytime try scorer. Alex Johnson, anytime try scorer. Bulldogs 13 plus, and I think Burton will get 2 tries.
All right. Well, that one.
That's paying $305.
Times by.
We'll get 15,281 back.
Do you know what I love?
Is it
We're
possible?
back. We're back to the old days. We're back to the 26 leg, never to win multi that gets knocked over. You know
I think
what?
we'll get the first one.
We'll get the first one.
I think we'll get the first one.
And
the
we'll probably
13
get Alex
plus.
Johnson.
Yeah.
I'm not ruling out the Bulldogs 13 plus.
No. This
James,
could happen.
This could happen. You know
I actually
what?
thought about it. I didn't
Yeah.
just go,
No, I did. I did that. And the producer has too. He's gone Carlton, St Kilda. I don't care. He's packed a heap of AFL teams.
Carlton, St Kilda, Swans, Geelong, Western Bulldogs, Gold Coast, all to win. Paying $11, going to win $580.
It won't win though because he's hopeless.
He hasn't won anything.
So, I feel like the round 15 tips, we've gone exactly the same. We've gone Rabbitohs, Cowboys, Storm, Sharks, Panthers, Eels, Raiders and Bulldogs. It says here that I'm on 76 and you're on 68 and the producer's on 62. Should the producer be on 72? Yeah. All right. Well, you get 2 points deducted because you're an imbecile and you can't fill out a form rightly. So you're on 70. Actually, you're on 67 now, Henry, because I said so. And so you're one behind Will. You have gone the Roosters. Hang on. Does that mean you got one more than me last week? It does, doesn't you? We had the same last week. All right. Well, I'm only 4 ahead.
Did
All right,
you
well-
back the Bulldogs last week? We're not.
No, you did.
Who did I get wrong last week? Fair few.
All the rest of them. No, I don't know. You got everyone but that.
I got 5 last week, eh?
All right, so quickly
See
with
these upsets.
the Twitter, we've got Toddy G. He
Sick of these
he's
goddamn
not listening.
upsets. They just keep upsetting me.
Well, you know what? The Dogs, you got one up. So
It should be worth 2.
as an Eels fan, he won't be listening. He said the Eels have had a public holiday off. All right, Josh Nolan. Who's going to be the captain for Australia and who's going to be the number 7 for Australia?
Captain for Australia will be Tedesco. I think he deserves it, especially if we can get through this Origin series and win this, he'll definitely be captain. And I think the 7's going to be Cleary. He's just been waiting in the wings for, I reckon, 2 or 3 years. If we had Test football last year, he's going to be the 7.
Yep.
And I think this year, World Cup year, I think they're going to take They're going to take both of them, the Cleary and DC, and I think Cleary's going to get the nod. Because he's going to be in semi-finals and he's going to be in grand finals and he's going to keep playing. And, you know, Cherry's at his time. He's 34 years old.
Yeah. He's been going well.
He's been going really well, but like...
Cleary's the future.
I think Cleary is the future. You know, like his leadership, you know, I mean, he had a poor game 1, but, you know, you can't kill every Origin.
Josh has also said he loves the podcast and he loves your tracksuit vibes.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Do you know what? You've inspired me. I just realised I'm wearing tracksuit pants too.
What are you talking about?
I'm wearing them. You know what? I was cold earlier. I normally got the shorts on. All right. Mick Angel wants to know... he loves Burton and he hates Moses. We won't talk about that, though, because you've been quite...
Same.
Is Moses getting $1 million a year?
Yeah.
He is. All right. Well, you're right, Mick. So Burton is definitely going better than Moses. No worries, Sam wants to know if you could rank the clubs you played for in terms of how you were treated.
Got treated pretty well in most clubs.
Big dog, aren't you? Hey, superstar.
Well,
what's the bloke on the
it
bottom
was all right.
of
It was like even playing for the Cowboys, got treated every club I played for, I got treated with respect because I treat people how I want to be treated. You know, most of the time. You know, the Cowboys are good. Manly was good. I'm not going to rank. I'll probably rank them. So Bulldogs, Knights, Roosters, Cowboys, Manly. Probably
and you
because I was only those teams there. I was only there for 1 year.
Yeah,
You know
and
what I mean?
don't get all in your feelings because he literally did not think about that for 1 second. He just said something. So don't get your feelings at all. It doesn't really matter. But thank you for the question for that. No worries, Sam. Thanks for Mick. Thanks, Josh. Good on you, Josh. There's a lot more questions Josh asked, but we couldn't get to them because we're running out of time. Now, we need to rate and review.
Yeah.
What is that? Do people do that? Is that on that podcast thing? Do that. Yeah, do that. Just rate and review us.
Rate, review, masonsake.com. Get on that. Twitter, we're all over the place.
I'm going to do Twitter this week.
Yeah, we'll tweet.
We'll do Twitter.
We'll be off the piss, so, you know, we'll tweet.
No, I won't.
No, I won't. I've got Friday. I've got something on Friday.
I got 2 things. And my dad's birthday Sunday. Happy birthday, Johnny Rambo. Turns 157.
See you later.
They'll be following Willie more and more. Back in the NRL is Willie Mason.
I've forgotten how big Willie actually is.
Perhaps the presence of Willie had the Panthers looking at his imposing frame.
I'm a 25-minute man. Plus. Oh, you got skill, son.
Uppercut right hand by Big Willie.
Too fancy for you.
You've been listening to The Take with Willie Mason and co-host Ian Byrne. Produced by Craig Trewick, recorded and engineered by Zig Parker of Green Room Sydney, and presented by the Handshake Media Network.